Hey, yo, what up? It's your boy. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Japan Fucks Up Again, part 973. It seems like every week, whenever I go onto Twitter, and I go onto Twitter news, Japan has done something to royally mess up somehow. Case in point, not too long ago, I covered the story of how a Japanese YouTube channel got sued because they made movie reviews, completely disregarding the fair use policy. You can watch that in the corner of the screen right there. But in today's news, we're dealing with not so much copyright laws, but more so this concept of internet privacy. You know, as the world of social media and the internet has spread further and further to younger and younger generations, it is more important than ever to protect our children, protect the younger generation from the horrors that may exist online, especially when it comes to a younger generation or a younger group of people who may not necessarily look at the internet as a scary place, probably because they've never been onto Reddit 50/50 and other sites of the sorts. So with that in mind, there was a particular Japanese middle school, and by middle school, for those of you who live in a country that don't have middle schools, middle school in Japan roughly goes from 7th grade to 9th grade, roughly ages 13 to 15 years old. If you look at it in today's standards, that's a pretty normal age group to start things like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and other social media sites. You know, there are many ways that you can educate a younger audience into the horrors and the mysteries of internet privacy, such as, I don't know, giving them extra lessons about it, maybe insinuating the parents to sit their children down to really discuss and make sure that they are looking over their children without getting in the way, because kids hate it when the parents get in the way. There are many ways to do it. None is more correct than the other, but in today's news that we'll be covering, I'm going to show you the absolute worst way to do it, which is that a Japanese middle school in the Nerima area in Tokyo decided to send out a little leaflet, and there is a little snippet of this leaflet right here on screen. But for those of you who are not Nihongo, it starts off with the basics saying, I use my smartphone or social media network services around however many hours a day, and the students go down, sit down, they write maybe, 1 hour a day, 5 hours a day, 10 hours a day. The second line saying, I use my smartphone or social media services until X amount of time. It turns out to be all normal until the last line you can see there, which roughly says, my social media service password is blank. Password. This sheet is literally tricking, or willingly, whichever, either way it's bad, to get students to basically dox themselves through the school system. Like, those fried memes that you see of the anime girl and next to it is like, ooh, I need you to give me your credit card and social security number, please help me, senpai. It is literally that level of scammy. And it wasn't until one of these students, or someone who saw that sheet, went onto Twitter and basically said, why is this school getting their students to give them their social media service passwords and to basically dox themselves through the school? Isn't that a little fucked up? Isn't that a breach of privacy of sorts? But get this, that this happened about a week after that sheet was given out to the students of the school. And at that point, at the time they realized that, maybe this might be a breach of privacy, a whopping 276 students had filled out that form in its entirety. That basically means that this school in Nerima, which they obviously didn't state the actual name of the school, it's somewhere in Tokyo. This Tokyo school basically has 276 passwords just sitting there. I mean, for starters, it just boggles my mind that 276 students looked at that piece of paper and thought, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll just write my password down here. Not a breach of privacy at all. But the other shocking thing is the fact that this tweet got so huge that there were complaints from members of that school's board that were basically criticizing this Twitter user, saying that, now that you've brought it to light, it's just going to cause more of a risk of a breach of privacy. You are basically jeopardizing now these students' accounts. Listen, man, I don't know if I can call this like next level Barbra Streisand effect or whatever, but that argument is just so dumb. Like, yes, I can kind of see how it can bring light to something that probably should have been kept in the DMs, but at the same time, they would have never had this criticism thrown at the school if the school didn't make such a big fucky wucky. And the explanation from the school side is also pretty pathetic as well. This article says here that it was a miscommunication, which I believe is the easiest scapegoat word that anyone can use in 2021. What do you mean I'm getting charged for manslaughter, officer? It was just a miscommunication between the knife in my hand and the guy's chest. What I want to know, if anything, and if you are like a cybersecurity specialist watching this video, please let me know down in the comments below, because I'm genuinely curious. Why would any organization, school, company, or just government organization, anything like that, would ever need the passwords of their clients? In the case with a school, I just can't help but think that someone in the school board decided to grab the passwords of the students of the school purely for, you know, maybe non-security reasons. There was a lot of shit being thrown around on Twitter about this situation, being like, oh, it's really obvious the teachers just want to like snoop in on the students' social medias, and hey, that's hella creepy considering that it's a middle school we're talking about here. But yeah, now apparently all these password-written documents, all 276 of them, are going to be kept in a place in a school that, quote, has a lock attached to it. Are we talking about a safe? Are we talking about like a teacher's lounge? Are we talking about a room that has a Cheeto for a lock? I mean, the school is saying here that so far there has been no cybersecurity breach in any capacity, but I mean, how could you even monitor that when you couldn't even monitor your students' social media safety without getting their fucking passwords off of them in the first place? It is a bit of a joke, and again, just the fact that the school is trying to push this under the rug as just miscommunication is pretty goddamn slimy. I'm no cybersecurity specialist or anything like that, but I can tell you, and I think anyone with a sensible mind can tell you, that the best way to protect your students when using social media and using the internet is not to get their fucking passwords off of them. Give them maybe a little one-on-one in case there is someone online who's been on 2chan a little too much to just calm the fuck down. Maybe gather a special class of sorts. Get in a cybersecurity specialist to come in to really explain from just a practical standpoint how dangerous the internet can be and how dangerous social media can be when it comes to personal information being breached. I mean, you see it all the time on Twitter of accounts getting hacked, even with two-step verification. And, you know, there are definitely kids out there, especially, again, of the younger demographic, anywhere between 13 to 15 years of age, that are just starting to go onto sites like Twitter, just starting to go onto sites like Facebook, and don't really understand the gravity of the situation when it comes to sharing personal information. There is so many kids out there that don't quite understand that once this shit is on the internet, it's on the internet forever. Like, I genuinely don't know what they wanted to do with giving out this leaflet to the students, and most likely the parents of the students as well. Like, was this some kind of like sick Joker-esque test for the parents to be like, how quickly and how easily can you give away your kid's private information to an organization that you think you can trust but no one else can? I get it that, you know, it's not the school's responsibility in a sense, right? There are people who say it's not the school's responsibility to teach students about things like internet social security and internet privacy. It's the parents' responsibilities, and I completely get that. But at the same time, this is not really helping either. And in all honesty, like, why does the school even want to know what students are doing on social media platforms? That's the question I want to throw. Like, what was the point of collecting this information? I use my smartphone and social media sites however many hours a day. Like, what is a school going to do with this information? Are they going to like start a creed to be like, all right, as long as you're a student in the school, you can only use your smartphone 2 hours a day. We're gonna be timing you, and if you go over the time limit, your head is gone. Fuck, I don't know, give them a subscription to like any of those VPN sites, and that's a million times better and will probably cause less financial damages than a horribly crafted document. I mean, for starters, this document looks like shit. Who chose this font? This literally looks like the pamphlet to the most suspicious cult I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to rant and show that because these kinds of news don't really make it outside of Japan, so I figured it was my duty to kind of show it off to you guys and just to make you realize sometimes Japan can pull some serious fucky wuckies. But I guess let me know down in the comments below what you think of this. And hey, again, if you're a cybersecurity specialist of any kind, because I know you're out there on the internet somewhere, I guess give me your like suggestions and thoughts. And even if you're not a cybersecurity specialist, let me know your general thoughts about what this whole thing was even all about. And hey, just as a PSA from your boy to you watching this video, Have you made sure that your password hasn't been filled out in any weird form? Maybe you should double check that, because this might not be the first case in the world for this happening. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smack my face right here. Over here next to my head is a couple more videos you can go check out if you liked this one. If you have social media that's hopefully not hacked, then make sure to follow your boy on social media. All the links are down in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.